Hello there guys, it's me Tom000123 and I'm very excited to bring you my second Call of Duty Ghost video. I'm very excited for this because it's actually an opportunity to discuss a topic that's very close to my heart as a Call of Duty player, and that is sniping and how it has evolved through Call of Duty's in multiplayer from Call of Duty 4 all the way up to Call of Duty Ghost where we are today. And I think it's interesting because earlier Call of Duties, they didn't really cater for and weren't really designed for running around and getting up close and personal with the opposition. You weren't aiming to quick scope them from as close range as possible. You aimed to take them out from a distance and keep yourself safe and look for the next kill. CoD 4 is a fantastic example of this. Maps that allowed you to roam a little bit more freely, not get channeled into kill boxes and corridors, which became prevalent in other Call of Duties like Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. And I think either directly or indirectly, a big culprit of that shift between sniping and quickscoping is YouTube. And I think they should shoulder a lot of responsibility for their exposure of sniping in a completely different light. And I think it became obvious when recording equipment became a lot more prevalent and a lot more available to the general public, such as myself, small YouTube channels that didn't necessarily post a lot of videos because it was really hard to record and get them onto the computer and onto YouTube. Sniping montages took off. When the technology to record took off, so did sniper montages. People weren't interested in technologies and strategies in Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 and Call of Duty 4, especially with Zerzo Grizz. They wanted montages, the best bits of gameplay from the best players possible, and YouTube were flooded with amateur people making their first Call of Duty videos. And it wasn't about commentaries or strategies, like I said before, it was getting the best out of their gameplay. And that's what Modern Warfare 2 really exploited. It wasn't a bad game, by any means. It was no way a bad game. The maps were really well designed. It catered to all sorts of playstyles like assault rifles, SMGs, shotguns, LMGs. There were a slot for everyone in that game. You weren't necessarily picking on snipers to make them the best in the class. They merely offered you the opportunity, because YouTube took off, they offered you the opportunity to get clips really quickly, really well, with increased scoping times, more powerful weapons. Didn't necessarily have to worry about chest or headshots anymore. You could take people out with one shot to the midriff. And that was getting the opportunity, that gave the opportunity for snipers to showcase their skills and not exclude other players. That's not me in Kabul. I'm not in a war zone. Those are fireworks outside, so I do apologise for that. And when Black Ops 1 came out after Modern Warfare 2, it became really obvious very, very quickly that snipers were not going to have the best of times. It was revolved around bigger maps, so that meant less kill zones, less kill corridors for the snipers to exploit, and the chance of getting a lot of enemies lined up were really low, and so snipers had to fall back on their original and intended role that Treyarch gave them in World at War, which was to support allies, support objectives, defend objectives, and not run around it, you triple and you quad feeds. So not necessarily to say that people that did that for YouTube and got a lot of views from that were not happy, because that was a year where views on montages dipped. But on the flip side, it gave people like myself, who weren't necessarily the best of snipers, a chance to showcase their skills through other mediums, through assault rifles, through SMGs, shotguns, LMGs, getting decent kill feeds that weren't necessarily before considered skillful. But because sniping had dropped away from the YouTube scene on Black Ops 1, it gave them a chance to shine. I think it was a great thing to have. I mean, I enjoy watching an assault rifle quad as much as I like watching a sniper quad. It was just a nice change, because YouTube had been saturated with montages from Modern Warfare 2, so it was a really nice change. Then Modern Warfare 3 came out, and that's where the entire idea of being a sniper went out the window. You were no longer a sniper. If you held a sniper rifle, it should have been renamed a quickscope rifle. There was no way Black Ops 1 allowed you to snipe and allowed you to move around with secondary weapons and still have a pretty decent chance of taking someone out with a sniper rifle. Modern Warfare 3, if you were a sniper, there was no such thing as a secondary weapon. You used that sniper rifle as a shotgun, as an assault rifle, as an SMG, because of course Call of Duty 4, the Barrett 50 cal was the gun you sought after as a sniper. On Modern Warfare 3, you start off with that gun. You start off, which was then the most powerful sniper rifle in the game, the 50 cal, and then made it a semi-automatic rifle and let you start with that. So of course people ran around that. There was no incentive to try any other weapons out. People were allowed and could snipe and Twitch Scope with the most powerful done from the very start of the game, and I think that was a bad move. Combine that with small maps, and when I say small maps I'm talking Dome, and I'm talking a load of other maps like where the kill boxes and corridors were the only place you could go. There were no other routes around, it was either that place or sit at your spawn. Combine that with really powerful air support, AC-130s, Reapers, Osprey Gunners, as if you were sniping, you were screwed, really. If you were trying to snipe properly, with that red box around your head, whether you were inside or outside, you were absolutely fucked. There was nothing you could do. So you may as well run around on Twitch trying to get as many kills as possible, rather than sit at the back trying to support your allies. Because of course MP7, SMGs and assault rifles could take you out across the map quicker than you could fire and ready your gun. So, ever decreasing map sizes, sniping became almost redundant, Twitch Open really took off, and there was nothing to counteract that. You know, there was no balance to it whatsoever. It was just a mess of a game. And Black Ops 2, I'm unfortunate to say, I was a massive Treyarch fan. And when Black Ops 2 came out, I was like, yes, finally we're going to have big maps. We're going to have sniping is going to be back to normal. We're not going to have any of that bullshit where I run around and get sniped in the face 4 times in my spawn. We're not going to have any of that. And unfortunately Treyarch had other ideas. Whereas they did reduce the stoping time for sniper rifles, they also reduced map sizes. And by reducing map sizes and reducing stoping times for snipers meant that you had to be a sniper, a normal sniper, on a really small map. And that was almost harder than it was on Modern Warfare 3. At least Modern Warfare 3 gave you a chance to defend yourself by stoping in quicker and machine gun secondaries. Black Ops 2 left you in a piss poor state of a map. Like, take for example Standoff. Standoff was my only favourite map on that game, because it's the only time where snipers actually have elevation to take out other snipers. You know, like Meltdown for example, another okay map where, but the only opportunity for snipers to snipe were on opposite sides. There was no reason for them to go around the map. There was no opportunity for them to go around the map to another sniping point. They were just left with 2 big houses, opposite ends of the map, with B in the middle. That's Meltdown and Standoff in a nutshell for sniping. So small maps, limited opportunity for sniping. They needed larger maps. We expected larger maps from Treyarch. So when Call of Duty Ghosts was announced, I must admit I was like, that's the first Call of Duty I haven't actually pre-ordered. Everyone from Modern Warfare 2 to Black Ops 2, we pre-ordered. I was there at midnight and we got it. You know, from Modern Warfare 2 to Black Ops 2, there at midnight, every single release night. Ghost was the only one I didn't do because in my head, I already knew what Ghost was going to be like. I knew that there would, from previous Infinity War games, there'd be really small maps. Twitch stoping would be back on the agenda because of YouTube and people getting really pissed off they couldn't post decent YouTube videos anymore. The maps would be smaller, meaning more persistent gun battles. SMGs would be the God gun. You know, God mode is an SMG. Get an SMG and you are invincible on most Infinity War games. And I started watching videos from Ali, who was really surprised actually that the maps are big. And I went, what? No. That cannot be! Infinity War doing big maps? Because think about it, on Modern Warfare 3, the only really big map was Liberation, and that was an absolute joke. There were two spawn placements on that map, whether it be for domination, whether it be for team deathmatch. There were 2 spawn points. You know what I mean? There was under the bridge on the far right hand side of the map, if you're looking from C, sorry. Far right side of the map there was the bridge, and then you had the bunker. You killed someone under the bridge, they'd spawn in the bunker. You killed someone from the bunker, they'd spawn under the bridge. Again, watch my spawn montage. Me and Toby's spawn montage. That gives you everything you need to know about their attitude to big maps and spawn system. The revenge spawn system meant they wanted to get you as close to each other as possible in battle, as quickly as possible. They weren't interested in spawning you on the back of the map where you didn't get shot. They wanted you to get you back in the action as quickly as possible and get shot. So you can see where I was coming from when I didn't pre-order Ghosts. I already knew in my head from previous Infinity War games what was going to happen, when it was going to happen. I wasn't interested, so I watched Ali A, who always does good Call of Duty build-up videos, and he said the first thing you'll notice is really, really big maps. I was like, hang on, that's not right. They don't do that. That's what Treyarch used to do, and Treyarch haven't done that. So now we've had a polar opposite switch. Treyarch used to be north, Infinity War south, and now they're just switched. They are completely opposite ends of the map in terms of Call of Duty design. And I think it's a really refreshing change, because that's one thing that Infinity Ward were good at. They recognised when a series needed to change. They realised that Call of Duty, which was primarily a World War game, not going to take off anymore. People weren't interested in that. People were bored with the same guns, the same scenario. I say the same scenario. The World War was a pretty big scenario, but it was the same thing over and over again in the game. So they switched to Modern Warfare, and that was a big, really nice switch. So you had up-to-date, real-life situations, real-life maps that people could relate to, real-life, places where people have been on holiday, for example, like Rio de Janeiro. People have been on holiday there. Favelas, they know what those are. People can relate to what's happening in real life in terms of the Iraq War, the Afghanistan War, put themselves in those soldiers' place, and play a game that's up-to-date. Now they've realised with Black Ops, with Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2, small maps don't necessarily make it a good game. So what they've done now, they've decided to do what they do best, innovate, come up with new, exciting ideas, and bring it back to Call of Duty 4. That's all they've done. That's all I've been asking for the entire time. A Call of Duty 4 game, an updated Call of Duty 4 game with updated graphics, updated weapons, updated maps. And that's what we've got in this game. We've got a Call of Duty 4 brand up to date, not reskinned in any way, but the gameplay and the game style is pretty much similar, pretty much spot on. And that's, I think, what we needed. We needed a shift from small maps to SMG orientated gameplay, where SMGs would rule. And that's what DOS has given us. They've given us a brand new take, an old take, or a brand new old take, on a genre that was being saturated and bored. CoD has become a bit of a joke to gamers, okay? It's always like, oh, it's the same game that's been re-skinned. There is nothing apart from Call of Duty 4 that resembles this. You know, they haven't gone back on Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 for their multiplayer anyway, and taken things from there. They've made big maps, they've not made small maps. I keep going on about maps, but that's the main thing that people keep banning on about in Twitter. It's a key thing in a Call of Duty game. Spawn system. Modern Warfare 3, I've already spoken about, was a complete joke when it came to the revenge spawn system. And that's what's another refreshing change on this. For example, if I die again, you'll see me spawn at the back of the map. I won't be taken out by someone that's aiming their machine gun into my spawn through a wall. I can hide behind a wall and not get killed in 3 bullets. You know, it's the only game I've actually enjoyed playing after 9 hours. You know, it's weird. Black Ops 2, I knew almost straight away that this was not going to be a Treyarch game, and that put me off. That put me off almost immediately. Yes, I did commentaries. Yes, I did okay in it, but it wasn't something that I enjoyed playing. Whereas this one, I can see myself enjoying for a long time to come. And it also brings a very interesting question: as where can they take this next? I'll leave you with that. So 57 for 8, 2 captures again. Not running around Twitch open getting objectives, covering my allies. Let's see where it takes from here. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers, bye.